Whoa, 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 bop.
What's up YouTube? Chris Bandy here. In this series, I'm going to show you how to understand jazz harmony. This tutorial focuses on harmonic features, analysis, and labeling. It does not focus on progressions or performance techniques, although I might make tutorials for those concepts later on. In addition, I teach jazz piano, theory, and composition lessons in person and online, so email me if you are interested. If you have any questions about this video, please check the description before commenting. Thanks to the Coldest Water Bottle Company for sponsoring this series. This 21-ounce sports bottle is solid and sturdy, keeps your drinks cold, floats on water so you don't lose it, has a rubber grip and a handle, is odor resistant, and fits in basically all cup holders. It has been perfect for me every time I go out of the house, and they have 12 different bottle types and a bunch of other products. The brand has over 8,000 5-star reviews, and they offer full refunds if you aren't satisfied. Pick up a Coldest Water bottle today by clicking the link in the description, and use the promo code BANDY to get 10% off your entire order. Alright, let's get into the series. Now let's learn how to label the extensions. If you have a triad, it won't have any extensions, so don't write anything for this step. If you have a 7th chord that doesn't have any extensions, just write a 7 for this step. If you have a 7th chord that does have extensions, just write the highest natural extension for this step. Do not put a natural sign before it. For example, if we have a chord with a natural 9, we write 9. If we have a chord with a natural 9 and natural 13, the highest natural extension is the natural 13, so we write 13. If we have a chord with a natural 9 and the flat 13 is an altered extension, so it's not a natural extension. In this case, the highest natural extension is the natural 9, so we would write 9. Now, if your quality has sus, sus4, sus2, or sus2-4 in it, that part needs to be written after the extension. For example, instead of writing C sus9, you should write C9 sus, since the sus needs to be written after the extension. Now let's learn how to label the alterations. Write all your alterations in a single set of parentheses. The altered tones should come first, then the added tones, then the omitted tones. For each of these groups, the tones should be listed in descending order. For example, if a chord has both the sharp 11 and flat 13, list them in descending order, so you should list them as flat 13, sharp 11. For another example, if a chord has both the sharp 9 and flat 9, list them in descending order, so you should list them as sharp 9, flat 9. Altered tones are simply listed as they are. For example, C13, sharp 11, flat 9. Added tones need the word add before them, unless they are the flat 2, sharp 4, natural 6, or flat 6. If the natural 6 is being added to a triad, it does not need parentheses, and it does not need the word add before it. But if the natural 6 is being added to a 7th chord, it does need parentheses, and it does need the word add before it. Finally, the natural 6 never needs a natural sign before it. For example, C7 add 4, C9 add flat 9, C major sharp 4, C minor 6, C7 flat 6, C minor 7 add 6. For a triad with an added natural 6 and a suspension, write the sus part after the 6. For example, B flat 6 sus, or B flat 6 sus2. Triads that have an added natural 6 and added natural 2 are labeled with a 6 above a 9. For example, A minor 6-9. Restored natural tones need a natural sign before them. For example, if you want C7 sharp 9 with an added natural 9, you should write C7 sharp 9 add natural 9. For cross-quality tones, you should always write their quality before them. Use an N dash before an added minor 3 or minor 7, and use a capital delta before an added major 3 or major 7. For example, if you want C major 7 with an added minor 7, label it as C major 7 add minor 7. If you want C minor major 7 with an added major 3, label it as C minor major 7 add major 3. Now, when you are adding a major 3 to a suspended chord, you do not need to indicate that the 3 is a major 3, since it is already assumed to be a major 3. So just put add 3. For example, C9 sus add 3. If you have multiple added tones, you can put the word add before the first added tone only. For example, if you want a G major triad with an added natural 2, natural 4, and natural 6, you could label it as G major add 2, 4, 6. If that bothers you, you can add commas between the individual added tones so that it is G major add 2, 4, 6. You can also separate them with natural signs. For example, G major add natural 2, natural 4, natural 6. Omitted tones should have the word no before them. For example, if you want an E7 chord with an omitted 5, just write E7 no 5. If you have a triad with an omitted 3, label it by writing the root followed by the number 5. The way to say this type of chord is to say open 5. For example, if you want a D-flat triad with an omitted 3, you write D-flat 5, and you say D-flat open 5. If the bass is the same tone as the root, don't write anything for the bass. But if it's a different tone than the root, then it is an alternate bass, which is labeled with a forward slash followed by the bass. A chord with a slash is called a slash chord. For example, A flat sus over C flat. Lead sheet isn't really designed to indicate the voicing of a chord. Apart from showing which tone is in the bass, there are ways that I think certain lead sheet symbols suggest certain voicings. For example, in my opinion, the chord symbol F11 suggests voicings like this, whereas F9 add 4 suggests voicings like this, and F9 sus add 3 suggests voicings like this, even though all three chords have the exact same tones. But other people might feel differently about these, so if you want someone to play a specific voicing, you'll just need to write out all the notes for them. Now that we've learned to label a chord, let's do an example. Let's say that we've analyzed a chord and figured out that the root is D, the quality is major sus2, the extensions are the sharp 11 and natural 13, and the bass is A. To label this chord, we begin by writing the root, so D, then we write the quality, so major sus2, but since the sus2 goes after the extension, let's leave a little space before the sus2. Then we write the highest natural extension, so 13. Then we write the alteration in parentheses, so sharp 11. Then we put a forward slash and write the bass, so A. There we go. D major 13 sus2 sharp 11 over A.